So to make this halter top today, I am going to use a 4.5 milliliter hook. And I'm also going to be using a medium weight or number 4 acrylic yarn. You can use whatever you prefer, just make sure that everything coincides. So we're going to start with a slip knot. And as I mentioned before in one of my previous videos, I like to double my slip knot. So what you're going to do here is you're going to make a chain that's long enough to go from rib cage to rib cage across the front of your body. So here I ended up doing for myself 64 chains, single crochet, of course, single crochet chain from rib cage to rib cage. And here is my chain, all completed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do half double crochet, and you can do any stitch you prefer. I like to do half double crochet, and we're going to half double crochet all the way down to the other end of the chain. And if you're not familiar with how to do double crochet, you can go to one of the previous videos here on TikTok, or you can click the link in the bio and go to my YouTube and look up one of the earlier tutorials on how to do a half double crochet stitch. But here we're going to go all the way down to the end. And this is what it looks like after I've done my first row of half double crochets. We're going to put my hook back in. I'm going to chain up 1, turn my work, and repeat the process back down to the other end. Chain up 1, turn your work. Make sure you get that first stitch. Don't skip the stitch, because then you will end up with a slanted project. Go into that very first stitch. Very important. And once again, we're going to half double crochet all the way back down. And we're going to do this for 5 rows. So go ahead and do that, and we'll come back. Do not forget that last stitch. If you miss the stitch, your project is going to be slanted. So you got to get that last stitch. Very, very important. Okay. 5 rows. So here we are at the end of the 5th row. We're going to go into our last stitch, chain 1. We're going to turn your work. And now at the beginning of this row, we're going to go into that first stitch as we did before. We're going to skip the 2nd stitch and go into the 3rd stitch. And you have now done a decrease, because we want our halter top to start to slant, as we want it to turn into a triangle. So what you're going to do is, from now on until the end of the project, you're going to skip that 2nd stitch at the beginning of every row. Go all the way to the end. Make sure you get that last stitch. Go into your first stitch. Don't hit the 2nd stitch. Go into the 3rd. And this is what it should look like. You should have a slant that goes all the way up to where you want your neckline to be. It can be as wide or as thin as you want, but it should have a slant. So just continue on up until you get to where you want your neckline to be. So here is where I stopped my neckline. I want mine to go not quite shoulder to shoulder, but like collarbone. So now we're going to create our straps that are going to crisscross in the back. So I basically chained up 175 single crochets for my chain. And now what you want to do is you're going to cut your yarn and you're going to reattach to the other side. Pull through, wrap around, and connect. And on this side, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to chain up 175 to match the other side. And once you finish that, you're going to take that little string and you're going to sew it into your halter top. You're going to weave it in using your darning needle. And that's what we're doing here. This is going to be the side that's going to be facing my body. So I'm just weaving it in so that it does not show on the other side of the halter top. I usually do this, go back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I'll go ahead and cut off the yarn. And when you turn it over, you can't see it on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to connect our straps. So it's going to that's how it's going to kind of fit your body. It's going to kind of fold over a little bit around your body. And you can pretty much choose how you want to do this. You can connect it wherever you like. There's no set way, no standard. It's just your personal preference. So you just kind of weave it in wherever you want your straps to go. And this is the end result. Now I did make mine a little bit longer